Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's tips and tricks on the last day of February. Can you believe it? I think that February flies by for everyone, of course, it's the shorter month, but the fact that March is already here is super exciting, and we hope that you are looking forward to rounding out this first quarter with some great campaigns and great ideas. And it's also my hope that what you learn here today and what I'm very excited to show you can apply to your campaigns moving forward. Before we get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Tim Sessions, the Director of Client Services. I've been doing these tips and tricks for quite some time. So for you veterans, thank you. Nice to see you again. And for those of you who are new around here, welcome to Tips and Tricks. We host this every fourth Tuesday of the month. So with all that being said, let's jump into today's agenda. First and foremost, we have a link to enter to win a Amazon gift card that we give away at the end of the presentation. So that should appear in the chat. Looks like Ryan on our team has already thrown that in the chat. So go ahead and click that, fill out your information, and enter for a chance to win. We'll announce the winner at the end of the call. It's our way of making sure you stick around and see everything that we present. Also, let me introduce that we do have Ryan Garcia on the call. He's a member of our support team. He will be available to answer any questions that come in. One thing that I would strongly encourage, in fact, I'd love to see it, any questions that you have, please throw them in the question and answer section and not in the chat. What this allows us to do is categorize the questions. If it's something that Ryan needs to wait for the end to answer, it'll be there queued up ready for everyone to hear what the answer to that question is. So we will make sure that we get those questions answered on this call, whether they come in during the question section at the end. Also on today's agenda, we have our upcoming national campaigns. And we are going to be talking about something new called Leads Portal. So hopefully the carrot that I dangled in the email that I sent out concerning this piqued your interest, because we are excited about a new feature. And those of you on this call are actually the very first ones of our customers to hear about it. I always like to give priority to those who attend the tips and tricks call. So it's just a little reward for taking time out of your day to hear what we have to talk about. Then, of course, at the end of the presentation, there's a brief 4-question survey for me to see how I did. I promise I take that feedback seriously. So if you have good things to say, bad things to say, then I welcome it. So, and then, of course, we have time at the end for some questions, and we'll announce the gift card winner. All right, let's jump into some upcoming national campaigns. Now, keep in mind, there might be some of you on this call where the group that you're affiliated with does not participate in our national campaigns, or there might be some exceptions. So if you're unsure, please check with those who are the decision makers with this partnership between audience and your group. But I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about them as if everyone on the call has access to our national campaigns. So the one that is coming up right around the corner is the 2023 Basketball Mayhem. It's the perfect bracket, and you can win $1 million, or participants can win $1 million. Last year, we launched a new feature on this one where not only do you have the ability to pick through all 64 teams for the entire duration of March Madness. Of course, we call it Basketball Mayhem around here, but we also have a 16-and-4 program as well. So those people who feel like they want to participate throughout, when we hit the 16 round, there is the ability to choose or make your picks in the 16 round, as well as the 4 round in March Madness. Now, of course, to qualify for the $1 million prize, that person has to get the perfect bracket on the 64 team round. The nice thing about having the 16 round and the 4 round available to participate in is that you can sell sponsorship opportunities to those. So you can have some local sponsors provide prizes, as well as an overall prize as well for everyone who participates. You can choose a winner through the leaderboard, and it's just a great opportunity to engage your audience during the Basketball Mayhem. So everything we include are the contest execution, the $1 million prize, the rules, the applicable winner, paperwork and tax information, and then generic images. But of course, you can use your own images if you choose to participate in Basketball Mayhem. One last thing to say about that is if you only want to participate in the 64 team round, or you want to add the 16 and the 4 rounds to your promotions, you'll have the ability to opt into that if you are to sign up for those. And sign-ups close March 8th, 2023. And we have Mother's Day coming up. This one has a guaranteed winner. The prize is provided by audience, and that's a $2,000 prize for mom. But of course, you can always tie in a local sponsorship to this as well. So any sort of Mother's Day themed sponsorships are encouraged and welcome. Sign up for that closes April 5th. And of course, we again provide the contest execution, $2,000 prize, which there will be somebody on the national scale that will win that. It's not, based on performance like the Basketball Mayhem. And then of course, rules and all applicable winner paperwork and tax information and generic images. And then we have the Father's Day giveaway, the exact same program, but it runs in the next month. So sign up closes there on May 10th. And all the same information that I just provided about Mother's Day applies to Father's Day as well. So where do you learn about national campaigns? Bookmark ideas.audience.io. You'll see a section that talks about national campaigns. You can see our calendar, and our national campaigns director works hard on making sure that you have all the information you need to successfully launch a national campaign. All right, I know I said we're going to talk about the Leads portal, but I can't set up the Leads portal conversation without first talking about integrations. Again, if you're a veteran around here, you hear us talking a lot about integrations, and here are some benefits to the power of integrations. It provides a secure data transfer, real-time sending and attribution. So if you have an integration set up, then somebody opts in or enters a campaign, it sends that data directly to that CMS or the email service provider. It's great for lead generation, so those CRMs that you have. You can grow your SMS lists, EMS lists, and any sort of targeted marketing list that you create on your end. Or as you might be thinking about sponsorship opportunities, integrations are good conversations to have there. And it streamlines a workflow between you and your partners as you send that data securely through an integration. And then, of course, we have some custom user attributes that you can set up. So not only are you sending over first name, last name, email address, and stuff like that, but if you even wanted to send over shoe size, you could set up a user attribute. We have a few articles on how to do that, but then that becomes part of the user profile with those custom user attributes. Just a quick glance. I don't expect you to see everything on this list just because it is quite the list here, but we have a lot of integrations. I think between our form fields, actual integrations, login methods, stuff like that, I believe we have over 80 options of ways that you can tie in other platforms to your audience campaign. And so this isn't a complete list, but just wanted to show you across the board here. However, what if these aren't the integrations you're looking for? Well, that's where Leads Portal comes in. So let's take a look at what Leads Portal is. It's an opportunity to send a data securely to any customer, or in this case, we'll refer to them as partners, and it sends a download link to their inbox. So what you see on the left-hand side, there's a little screenshot, and we'll get into more of that later in the presentation. But there's no integration required. You can update your partners with leads throughout the campaign or all at once. You can deliver leads directly to partners' inboxes. The partners can request a new link on demand, and you'll only send leads during appropriate times of the day. So gone are the days, and hopefully this isn't a practice where you work out of, but hopefully gone are the days of downloading a CSV file, attaching it to an email, and sending it to your partner. With the Leads portal, you can now just send a download link directly, and it is automated. So let's take a look at what a Leads portal looks like. I'm going to jump into the admin here. So if you bear with me while I set that up. Here I am in the admin. Okay, so I have this Father's Day giveaway. I picked something relevant that's coming up here. And I jump into the setup of my contest. Now we're not going to worry about anything but demoing the Leads portal. So if some of this information that you're looking at right now is foreign to you, we have plenty of resources to show you how to build a campaign. But where I'm going to be working out of is our entry form here. So if the Leads portal is enabled on your account, and for those of you on this call currently, most likely it's not enabled on your account because this is the first time you're hearing about it. But the way that it works is it's integrated with our list opt-in. So as you know, you have your options to set up integrations where people can opt into newsletters, email lists, and so forth. With that integration, it sends the information you're asking for on the form directly to those lists. So if you take a look at what we're looking at here, you can see all the different lists that my integration is pulling in from. Now, with the Leads portal configured, you now have a new option. There's the newsletter list option, or there's a partners option. So let's pretend like, yes, we're collecting information for ourselves, so we have an opt-in for that, but we would like to add another opt-in for our partners. So would you like to receive emails from our partners? Of course, you can get a little more clever than that, but we'll just use that for now. So let's go ahead and select send data to partners. So that reconfigures the list opt-in field, and now we're asking which partner we should send this to. Now, partner means an email address of the specific person taking lead on a sponsored campaign. So if I have Joe's car dealership, that partner is going to be the person who me as a radio station, a TV station, or a salesperson, that's going to be the person who I've worked out this deal with to transfer leads over to. So you can have a list of partners. So this is nice because if you've previously worked with someone, you don't have to reinvent the wheel here, or you can add a new partner. For instance, I can add Ryan at audience.io, and now he is part of this partnership. Okay, so now that I've added Ryan, you can see we're kind of building out a list here, but now that I've added Ryan, I can now select what information I want to send to Ryan. And this is all based off of the entry form that I have created. So let's go ahead and just add a new field. Let's add a birthday field. So I'll add that. Let's add zip code, postal code, we'll make it required. We'll just add information like that, clean up our list here, make it look nice. And let's jump back into our opt-in field. Now you can see those new fields that I've added are now part of the Leads portal. But let's say, based on our company policy or something that determines what type of data we can send, let's say we can only send first name, last name, and zip code. And then of course, we want to send them the opt-in information as well. So this is all that will be included in the link that can be downloaded in a CSV that will be sent. We'll take a look at what that looks like here in just a little bit. But you can set the interval of how many times somebody receives this notification that leads are available. So you can update the interval. So right now it's currently set to once per hour, but you can set it once per day, once per week, or even once per month. So of course, you're going to want to determine this on the duration of when your campaign runs and how often you want to send those leads to those campaigns. Now, the emails will stop sending when there's no more leads to send. So if your campaign expires and you have it set for one day, let's say the campaign expires at 5 p.m. that day, it'll send all the entries up until 5 p.m., but the next day, obviously, nothing will get sent because there's no more leads to be sent. So that's how that works. We also have some do not disturb settings. So you can make sure that you're not sending, let's say you're sending it once per hour. You can set in your time zone when those emails will get sent. So this is 9 p.m. Don't send leads to our sponsor, but resume notifications at 6 a.m. the next morning. And then, of course, any entries that came in throughout the evening will be included in that 6 a.m. email there. So that's pretty much it as far as the setup. As far as the setup goes on how to configure the Leads portal, it's very simple on this end. Hopefully you all can agree with that. But let's go ahead and jump back to what it looks like on the Leads end. So I'll jump back into the presentation here because I have a few screenshots of what it looks like in a partner's inbox. So let me get that queued back up here. And now we're back into our presentation. So what do your partners see? They'll see an email, as you can see on the right-hand side. They'll see an email with a button link to download the leads. This email comes from the email address set in the account defaults. If there's nothing set there, then it does come from audience. So that's one way of me encouraging you to set up a generic email in your account defaults, like hello@company.com. So it looks like it's coming from you. And then the leads emails will stop sending, as I mentioned, when no new leads are available. So as you can see in my screenshot here, it looks like I'm a partner on two different contests or sweepstakes that are set up, the Easter egg hunt and Win a Dozen Roses. The number next to it is telling me how many leads are available. So if the entries came in once per hour, then those leads will be available for that hour. So after the link is clicked, then the link becomes invalid. So it's going to open up the Leads portal, which we'll take a look at here shortly. But this is what the expired Leads portal link looks like. After it's clicked, that it's a one click and it expires. But what happens if somebody clicks it by accident and isn't ready to download the leads list? Well, they'll get a notification like this. It says it looks like your link has expired. Click here to have a new link set. So it's not. What's nice about this is you're not having to jump in and push a link anytime your partner requests it. It's up to them to click that link, download the leads. If the leads expire, then of course they can request a new link sent. So you're not having to get distracted from your day every time your partner wants a new set of leads. So that's a nice little feature that I wanted to make sure I point out. And this is what the Leads portal looks like. So it's a URL that they'll go to. And of course, if there's multiple leads available to that specific partner, then they can download those leads. You can see kind of the layout of this. Your partners can download only new leads if they want to, or they can download all the leads up until that point. If they're connected to multiple campaigns, all campaigns will be listed in the Leads portal. The status of the campaign will be visible to your partners along with the number of leads available. So you can see recently completed on that Cinco de Mayo one, the Easter egg one is live, Secure Leads demo is live, and then there's some quick stats on how the campaign is doing, as well as the new leads that are available to download during that time frame, or they can click the all button and that will give them all the leads up until that point. Now, something to note is, and this might be a setting that maybe you're unaware of or haven't thought about in a while, but in our grid settings, whether or not you're using the promo grid, there is a feature in the grid settings where it will say show campaigns live for X number of days after X expiration. That same number is going to influence how long the leads are available to your partners as well. I believe by default, it's 30 days. We kind of follow some FCC guidelines on showing rules there, but in the grid settings, that affects how long the lead button is available to your partners as well. So keep that in mind. That's what determines the length of the URL being available for download. All right, well, this is why we do what we do. It's to grow and enrich and activate your first-party data. Some very fascinating stats here. Over 600,000 campaigns have been created. Over 1 billion data points have been collected. 800 million campaign interactions have been made, and we have 80+ integrations. And we have partnered with over 3,500 companies worldwide. So with that being said, let's take a look at some questions. It looks like we have a few questions here from Anonymous. If it's a promotion which allows participation more than one time, i.e. once per day, does it send the same record, essentially a duplicate on each day that same person enters? I believe it's only sending unique entries. I could get clarification on that, but I don't think that it sends a repeated record each day. But let me get some additional clarification on that offline. If that's something that you're interested in, feel free to write in support@audience.io for that clarification. But I believe it's just unique entries. That's a great question. Any other questions while you have me here?